Yo, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Happy New Year
Year.
to you all. 2015.
Right. Yeah, first of all, Happy New Year, guys. Hope you lot had a great Christmas holiday and a good Happy New Year. We've got a special guest today. We've got Jenning. I don't believe Jenning's ever joined us as co-host. This is the first time, right?
This is the first time. Yes, this is a first for me.
Yeah. Awesome. So Jenning has been with us ever since the first Hangout, actually, and he's a regular. And we thought we'd get him on here just so that we introduce another member of ours, so that we all get to know him and chat to him, get to see what he looks like, and also for him to share a bit about his goals as well.
Sure.
I actually wanted to get Richard on here as well, but I didn't have the time because we only decided 2 weeks ago. Yeah, because I know Richard's got some pretty decent goals at the moment. But yeah, I mean, anyone who wants to share their goals, feel free to post it on a chat session, and feel free to post and share your goals with us on Facebook on our secret group. Right, let's kick off. Today is just gonna be a casual one. Today I just wanna, share a bit about our goals, and I want to get everyone else to share what your goals are. And then Jonathan has a really short presentation about 10 steps on how to set your goals the proper way. That will basically push you towards it. People set resolutions, right? People have New Year's resolution, but they never follow through because New Year's resolution sucks. It doesn't work, right? The right way to set a resolution is to set a real goal that is obtainable within a time frame, and it's a smart, realistic goal, and you give yourself and you do it for every area of your life. So we're gonna go through that in a minute. So at the moment, I'm going to kick back, and tonight Jonathan's going to lead our hangout. So let's all welcome Jonathan.
Right, thanks, Nick. Now, everyone, I would like to welcome Lucas. He's new, I believe. Johnny's been... And Gavin from Japan. Thank you very much, Gavin, for turning up today. Much appreciated. I'm sure it is 5:30 a.m. over your side, if I'm correct. Thank you very much for turning up and showing your support. It means very much a lot to me and Nick and Jenny as well. So thank you. And Callie, welcome back. Glad to see you again. So as everyone has started their New Year's, I hope that you have thought about your new goals for this year, because how should I put it? A lot of people don't think about goals nowadays because, like Ick said, there's New Year's resolutions, but they usually just float around for the first 2 weeks of January and then they disappear. So what I'll be talking about today would be how to set your goals and how you can manage them and where you should be setting them as well. Right. So let's get started. Shall I go straight into the presentation, or should I give some people some time to write down their goals?
I think you should give the first few steps. Don't give everything away. So okay. So for those of you who's written down your goals already, have them ready, have them out. Hopefully you've written them down and it's not just stored in your head, because the power of writing things down gives you clarity, and it actually pulls you towards your goal further as well, and it basically reinforces what your goals are, what you want in life. So make sure you do spend some time to write down your goals. For those of you who have not written any goals down, well, tonight is our exercise to do that. So if you can all get some pens and papers out ready, or even just open up Microsoft Word's document and just start typing. Jonathan, maybe you would like to share up to the brainstorming bit?
Yeah, okay. So step number 1 would just be being as creative as you can. So just think about what you want in your life. Some examples that I've got is such as owning a Lamborghini, having a penthouse, having a house by the beach, losing between having between 15 and 20% body fat weight, easily become NLP certified, inspire and reach out to 10,000 people. So this is just my personal goals. This does not have to be yours, but I would like you to be more creative and think about what you actually want to achieve in life. You know, what sort of experiences you want to experience, like scuba diving, skydiving, travel around the world if you haven't, travel around outside of Europe if you haven't, or if you're in Asia, you could travel to Europe if you haven't, for instance. What sort of contribution you want to give back to the society? For me, I would love to build a school in China. That would be my contribution, what I want to give back. So these are all things that just be, you know, as imaginative as you can, without any limits. Just go full out what you want to own, what you want to have, what you want to achieve, what you want to contribute, you know, what you want to build, any projects, any businesses you want to build, you know, million pound turnover businesses, that could be one. So just go full out on whatever you want to achieve in your life. There's usually a few different aspects of what sections of our life that I would normally give. So you could have, for instance, your physical body goal, your emotional well-being, relationships, finances, career, business, spiritual life, contribution, and again, experiences. So each section you want to write down maybe like as many as you can, really.
Yeah.
So if you want to feel like you want to share, you could also do that on the chat. You're welcome to do that.
I think, Jono, while they're thinking about it, you should go straight to step 2, because I believe step 2 is the most important. Basically, getting in state.
Yeah, getting in state, but currently on a webinar, I'm not sure if they want to. Well, the good thing is, if you can, is really just shut off all your distractions for one. That'll probably be the best one. So turn off your phone, your Facebook, your emails, whatever distractions that could distract you from this webinar or from what you're doing right now. Put this do not disturb sign on your door, I don't know, whatever that gets you not disturbed within this hour of exercise, right?
Yeah. So what
obviously is
what you guys might want to do is write down a few ideas now, but after this webinar, you will want to set out a block time and just revise your goals and just redo it and get yourself in state. Well, basically, you want to have absolute clarity, because a lot of the time when you write down goals or when you think about what you want in life, a lot of the things aren't really must. A lot of the things are just what you would like to have. It's not what you must have. So really, it's all about what you must have in your life. It's what is the most important thing in your life at the moment. So these are the kind of things to start thinking about. Right. Kelly asked a question. I would like to know, where does everyone find their motivation to chase goals? That's a really good question. If I put my mind to something, I know I can achieve it. But my problem is I have zero motivation to actually go and do this. You're all highly driven, and that's why I'm here. I'm missing something that you guys have, but I don't know what it is on how to get it. Right, so Kelly's question is basically asking how we get our energy, where we get our energy from, and our motivation, and the force that pushes us forward, right? Jono, you want to lead off on that one?
Well, that would be your why. Why your existence at the moment is probably something you need to find out deep inside yourself, which would be, for my why, I'm doing what I'm doing is because of for my family. For one, we're not a well-off family, so that's one thing that I want to do is contribute more to society, and also just to for me it's personal fulfillment, because since I believe when I was at college, I always took or I never had confidence in myself. I was always bullied, being one of the only Chinese people in the community or in school. That was my bringing up kind of emotional attachment that kind of brought me to build confidence. So by doing that, I had to volunteer myself to do school board leaders, uh, board representations for your class rep, and go to these meetings where adults or tutors are hanging out to talk about what's happening in the course, how students are learning, and I always wanted to give back by doing something like that. And it kind of built my confidence in giving or contributing. And that carried on to university, where I started my own society, in which today that is still running. It's probably been running since 2005, I believe. So yeah, it's been it's still running through my peers or my predecessors who's taken the baton. For me, that's a proud moment for me to realize that, wow, what I've done, what I've contributed, is still living. It's a living legacy. It's something you want to leave behind while you're alive. Like, think about what would you leave behind for people to remember you when you leave. We will all leave at some point. It just depends when. Everyone leaves at different times. You can't really know. Like for me, one of my greatest mentors, Greg Clip, recently passed away on the weekend, or last weekend. Huge bodybuilder, motivator, inspirational guy, and he only passed away at 37. Like, that's young for someone. His achievements, what he's achieved, who's inspired, what he's done, how he's lived his life, things like that is. How are you going to be fulfilled in your life? How do you want to be remembered? Do we all now remember Greg as one of the greatest bodybuilders, inspirations, motivators of all time, and he also passed away at where he first started out, which was train track filming, where he started his filming, and that's where he left, and that's where he started and where he left. So that is something that we all will forever remember. But how will you want to be remembered in your lifetime? Do you want to be remembered? Is a question. For me, I'd love to be remembered. Of course, I don't want to just generate all my network, my businesses, all my friends and family. I don't want something to leave behind. Just they have nothing for me to, for them to remember about me. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave something behind. I want to contribute more, so that a lot more people remember me. That's how I want to fulfill my life. So, how would you want to fulfill your life is obviously different to mine. This is my personal goals, and from my personal upbringing, is first finding out their why. Why do you want to do what you want to do? That's the motivation that pushes me every day. Also, working out for me every day is pretty essential, I believe, because you get more energy that way. That's how I tend to believe anyway, and that's just personal beliefs again. So obviously do what works for you. If you can't find motivation, then maybe you're hanging around with the wrong people. That could be always the first thing to look at is look at your friend circle, because usually your friend circle determines the area of your life. If you hang around, millionaires, do you think you'd be at some point near being a millionaire as well, right? They'll give you strategies or business tips or joint venture opportunities to invest or to do. So, and then if you want to look at the negative side of people, you will have people, monkeys, which people call monkeys anyway, because they always give you negative feedback, or they never have a good contribution to say. They always put you down, or they will say it's too risky, it's dangerous, things like that that just put you off. Or you can't do that. I would never tell anyone around me to say you can't do that. I'll say yes, you can do that. If you want to, if you wanted to do it, you can. You just have to try or put some action into it. So you have to watch around people who you hang around with as well. So for me, I tend to get, I don't get rid of them. Ick does, but I don't. I tend to just block them off, or I just, tend to fade them out of my hearing, or I just, pretend I didn't hear it, or I just won't pay attention to it. So therefore, I don't get infected by negativity, because that plays a part, a lot of in your thinking, in your emotions, and your motivation. So you need to be careful about that. So anything I'm missing? Do you feel?
Yeah.
Or did I ramble a bit too much? Sorry.
Callie raised a
That's
good
alright.
point about why she. Sorry, is Callie a guy or a girl? I don't even know.
His name is Ian.
Alright, a guy, yeah. All right. Ian, did you say?
Yes. Or you could just carry on with Callie or something.
Alright, Callie, aka Ian. Right. He raised a good point about why he doesn't see why he should get out of his comfort zone. If he's happy the way he is now, that is absolutely fine, Kelly. There is nothing wrong with that. I want you to understand there is nothing wrong with that. Some people value security over freedom because they like to be. It's in their core nature to feel secure. So that's why majority of the people will always be employed, will always be working for other people, because they feel that they need that sense of security to know that they get a monthly income for trading their time. Most people like that. Most people prefer that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some people, like me, for example, I need freedom. Freedom I have identified to be one of my highest driving force. And so what I'm doing is I'm pushing myself. Actually, I'm being pulled by my lack of freedom at the moment. I feel like I'm caged right now by my full-time job, so that pulls me to work harder because I want to be free. I want to be financially free, so I've got the time to do whatever I want. And that is my driving force. That is my why. That's one of my whys. But if you are happy where you are right now, and if you're comfortable and you're happy being comfortable, no problem, because my sister's like that. She's a pharmacist. She gets well paid, and she just wants to be a married house mother. That's what she wants to be. She just wants to be happily married, have kids, and just look after the kids, and be a full-time mom. And she wants to be comfortable. That is her goal. That is her goal. And if she can achieve that, that makes her happy. So it's whatever makes you happy as a person. Maybe you don't have to be very, very successful, because success is defined differently depending on the individual. So your meaning of success might just be to start a family, a loving family, and keep everyone together. Success, a definition of success might be an entrepreneur who can travel around the world while remaining single. It's all what you want at the end of the day. So nothing wrong with lacking that motivation, because there isn't anything if you can't identify must, it means you're already doing your must. That's the way I see it. So you are already doing highest of your priority, of your on your value, on your hierarchy of value. What we will do is mention about we will talk about the 7 different areas of your life later on. We'll dive into that a little bit. But what I want you to understand is that every one of us have 7 areas in our life, 7 different areas, and we prioritize them differently. We have different hierarchies. So Jonathan, for example, one of his priority is to have physical fitness. So his physical health is very important to him. While me, I don't do any exercise. I'm quite lazy, so that is at the bottom of my list. But my spiritual area of my life, like being very spiritual, being very mental, like to learn, and I read a lot of books, that might be higher than Jonathan. But it's all within balance, and it's all what you want at the end of the day. So if you feel comfortable, there's nothing wrong with being comfortable if that's what you want. But I'm just saying, if you have a certain goal and you want to work towards that goal, and you will need to know that you will have to jump out of your comfort zone to work towards it. But I'm sure you already know that. I'm sure you're already doing it, like studying for a degree. You know, people don't like studying, but generally speaking, academically, but they have to do it because they have to do it to achieve the degree. So again, that is an example of going out of your comfort zone. So if you can't find a must in something, you're already doing it.
This brings me.
If you have any further questions, just type them down.
This brings actually this links onto what I wanted to talk about as well pretty well. Well, there's usually, as my mentor would say, Brendan Bouchard would say, it would be the 3 types of life, and there will be the caged life, which will be, you know, the people who are trapped, who feel like they can't get out of it. They have a period of time where they get frustrated, or they feel like they're not growing and they're not learning. They start pointing fingers at others, to say, to blame others that are, they can't understand what I'm going through, or they are the people who are less likely to ask for help as well. And then they start becoming more miserable. Yes, you guys, progress is key. This is where I'm getting up to now. So these are the people who are in caged life. They feel trapped. They feel like they're not learning, or there's no progression. And it is only about time for them. Is a lot of people have different timing of when they get out of it. So by the time they probably get something, something usually happens for them to realize that they need to get out of where they are, or this caged life. Usually is when you meet someone else, someone new person in your life, or new friends, or new peer group. Sometimes it's new opportunities. And when new opportunities come, you have to remember that when you knock onto the door of opportunities, it is hard work that follows. Now, not everyone wants hard work that follows after you open opportunities, but if you want opportunities, that's where it is. That's where hard work will have to come. Opportunities come easy. They may come by, but not easy to keep or achieve. So you have to remember that. And that's when they get past that. They get out of being in the caged life. They had enough. They want to just change and dramatically go, wow, I've finally got out of this caged life. Is they start getting into, start putting action, getting more progression. They start taking control of their lives, and they start, building up new boundaries, or getting out of comfort zones. Then they want to just live more, basically learning. Once you learn more, you start feeling more achievement, start getting progression, and then obviously you start becoming more successful. That's where you feel, you're starting to achieve more. You're learning, you're growing, you're not stuck. But majority of people get what we call the comfort zone, the comfort life, where they feel comfortable, they've achieved what they wanted, they've done what they feel like they've wanted to achieve. So then they feel satisfied, right? And there's no sense of new direction they want to go at. So they feel like everything's under control. I think that's where you're probably at the moment, Kelly, is where you're satisfied. You're under control of everything: your finances, your life, your health, your goals, or your must. So that's okay. Most people are get to that, and then where I want to get past that. If you want to get past it, it's also what we call the charged life, right? So the charged life is you start becoming more passionate about what you want to do. You start becoming more passionate and more satisfied about achievements and setting up new goals. And it's healthy, it's healthy challenges, but you always push yourself a little bit more further than you would before, and you'll be more engaged. So that's where you get out of the comfort zone. Right? I'm not saying you don't have to, but it's when you're living in the charged life, you always want to push through your comfort life because it just feels great to achieve a new goal, to set yourself a new goal, and you start overcoming it and go, wow, that's so easy. What else can I achieve, right? There's no boundaries. You know, there's nothing stopping me anymore. I could, you know, go all in and just focus and just achieve anything I want to do, right? And that's how you feel satisfied. You start developing more yourself and you progress every day. For me, I'm going gym every day for like 5 days a week, and I feel healthier, or even if I don't feel healthier, I'll probably look fitter, right? Or that's imagination, what I tell myself, right? Just so I could believe it. So you have to, you know, you have to enjoy that progression, that process. And even if you don't, you know, some people you don't see results within 2-3 weeks. It's like, okay, fine, that's just part of it, right? Okay, push yourself further the next time you go gym, right? Push yourself harder. Lift heavier weights. Lift a bit more heavier weights. Push it. You know, struggle to breathe. It's an hour of pain. You know, that's what, you know, Greg says. It's an hour of pain, but the sense of pride that you get out of it after you come out of it, you know, that confidence level just boosts up. Even if it's ego matter, right? It is a self-belief. It is your emotions that progresses. So most people would, or I would say a few people would do a charged life, which is just being passionate about what you're doing. Like me and Nick right now, like we're passionate about what we do. That's what we do these, right? We set, you know, even if there's not many people on here, we will still chat. We will still provide whoever's here what they need, because we feel that you need this, and that's what we are here. We are here to serve and provide and help. So we challenge ourselves. You know, we don't know everything, but we know most things that probably most others aren't doing. We are doing things that most people aren't doing. You guys are taking your time out. You know, being here is, you know, we're very appreciative that you are taking your time out to be here this evening, because you could be doing something else. You could be playing PS3, PS4, you know, playing games. You could be chatting on Facebook, be on YouTube, watching TV. I don't know, whatever you do during the evenings, right? But you're taking your time out to be here so that we can provide you some, you know, some help or some content that you'll feel useful once you take it away with. That's what we do. Sorry, I rambled on again.
It's cool.
That's awesome. Jonathan don't usually speak that fast, so when he does, you can tell he's very passionate. But I'll just add on another line, as Jonathan says. When you're surrounded by people who are comfortable, you will naturally fall into the comfort zone. When you surround yourself with people who pushes you, who are pushing themselves, you naturally want to push yourself. Hence, we're doing this hangout, because we want to get everyone together and start pushing everyone. I get influenced by Jonathan, and Jonathan get influenced by me. We get influenced by anyone else who comes and join us, and that's why it's so important for us. We make it our mission to actually start a peer group and to actually build this peer group. So it's you guys are important to us. You guys are precious to us right now. You know, you're like literally almost a family to me, and because I know that you guys are on the same path that we are. And so whenever I feel down, or whenever I'm not doing anything, or if I fall into the trap of sticking into the comfort zone, I expect Jonathan to kick my ass. I expect you guys to kick my ass, or in a peer group, and that's what I want to build. Right. Let's move on to what's on. Let's have a look at my the slide. Okay, we can go into step 3 to brainstorm. That really comes down to having the mentality of a kid at Christmas, as Jonathan will put it. So as you brainstorm your goals, as you brainstorm ideas for your goals, what you want in life, just pretend you're a kid. Pretend you're at your 6-year-old and it's Christmas. What do you want in life? You know, just think about what gets you excited. You know, this is another good exercise to get you out of your comfort zone. Actually, Kelly, is to think about the things you want in life that really pushes you, that really pulls you towards to get. Like a Christmas present. What do you want? What if Santa Claus really did exist and he say, I'm going to give you one present, anything you want, what would that be? And it doesn't have to be materialistic. It doesn't have to be related to products. It could be an experience that you want to do, like travel around the world. It could be having a happy family. It can be having a good relationship, or having a loving relationship. You know, it could be making you the most talented pimp in the world. Whatever makes you happy. What is your goal? So brainstorm that. While you guys do that, I'm gonna bring Jennings on. He's been sitting there for far too long, being too quiet now.
Okay.
Jennings,
Yeah.
you share with us what you've written down for your goal, and I believe that they are.
Yeah, sure. I'm giving up smoking this year. That's my first goal. Is doing things bit by bit, I think. So that's very important to me on the list. Secondly, I would like to better my health, like physically, after maybe giving up cigarettes for a whole month or so, because it takes you roughly about 30 days to form a habit, and you usually have to keep this going, and then move on to the next goal, I think. But I think to keep yourself going, I think you may have to give yourself initiative by rewarding yourself, like you said earlier, about what you want, like for instance a holiday, or I'm chewing gum, and that's my initiative to keep off the smoking. So that's what I'm doing. So it's not that big. My goal plan isn't big. It's just small goals at the moment, but it's bit by bit. Sorry if I've confused you.
So what else you got on your list?
Sorry?
What else you got on your list?
Well, I've put it down to like a few things, like it's like giving up, just give up smoking, go on a holiday, maybe go to Hong Kong. That will be a initiative, so that's what I want to do. But for now, I just want to do the first goal, which is giving up the cigarettes and rewarding myself for it, to get through it, because it's not easy. It's awkward, but it's keeping the ball rolling. I think you have to keep the ball rolling, and you have to find a good reason to get through the day and achieve it, because it's one of those game changers. You have to keep going. That's my goal. That's my goal anyway. My goal is a breaking a habit rather than anything. That's the first habit for me. Once I get through that, after a month, then I will decide on moving to the next level. Yeah.
Well, I used to smoke as well, back in university, which was, yes, I did smoke. I did do bad things. I'm not a perfect human. I used to do things that people do, which is just part of human nature and who you hang around with, right?
Yeah, that's true.
For me, what helped me when I broke out, when I stopped smoking, was that I thought about the money that came into place. So how much was cigarettes nowadays? That used to be about £5. I don't know how much it is now. Is it 6, 7?
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, right. So you're timing that, if you did, how many packs do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I used to smoke about 10 to 20, but it just increased. And I think, to be honest, I just started smoking and coughing. I thought, this is it. It's going to be a new year. I'm going to keep doing this for next year. I'm having trouble breathing. This is it. I've got to go through pain to better myself. And I think I'd rather suffer now in the short term than suffer in the long term, because if I keep going smoking, eventually I will feel my lungs pack up, and I will, I think it's a good wake-up call in terms of setting goals. It's you stick with it. You say, I'm going to give up. I give up. I will burn all bridges. will burn all bridges. I will progress from today and to the next day. I've so far lasted about 4 weeks, so it's quite good for me. But you know, once you get past that goal and it gets easier, I would move on to the next goal, which is start to go to the gym and exercise. But you know, I could have jumped to the gym straight away, but I decided this is the first thing I have to do first. For me, this is the first thing. If I can't do this, then I won't progress on to the next thing. So, you know, I think it's sort of like one level to the next level. You have to take that step first.
Well, you could always when I first stopped quitting, it was the pain. The pain. I turned the pain into pleasure. Instead of buying cigarettes and stuff, I started saving for a week. And usually that week, you're probably, if you do, you did it a day, that's times 7. That's probably a dinner. That's a meal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back for university students, that was pretty expensive. And being a university student, you have to quite look after how much you spend. You can't always splash out like that because you could always rinse yourself out through a night out and stuff. So for me, it was like treating myself by instead of buying cigarettes, you buy a meal, or you go out and eat with friends, like properly, like a proper meal, a decent meal, not Tesco valued stuff, microwave food or noodles or whatever there was student times, right? So that's how I turned the pain into pleasure. I started saving. Instead of spending it on cigarettes, I started going out, eating out instead. For me, I love my food, so that's how I treat myself, and that turned into more pleasurable than cigarettes, obviously. And then, obviously, health. You only live once, so why not look after yourself and live a better life or more energized life than a life when you're coughing around, or you always have the smoker's cough where something feels trapped inside your throat, and when you're walking around, you don't want us to smell like cigarettes all the time around people that you hang around with. Sometimes they could probably be a bit off-putting that they don't smoke. So then when they hang around with people that do smoke, they'll go, what's that smell? Or that they like the cigarette smell because they're not used to it, right? So for me, that kind of played a bigger part because I started hanging around with more people that don't smoke. So then it stopped me from smoking or wanting to go smoke because they don't smoke. So that's how I turned my pain into pleasures. I started doing things that was more pleasurable to me. So you could, start thinking like that and see if that helps. That helped. That's what helped me. So I'm not sure if that would help you, but that's something I did. And, something that you could probably look into as well.
Yeah. Are you, Jono? Are you starting the gym? Is that what you're doing now? Have you started working in the gym?
I started working out in the gym like last year anyway, but it's just.
Oh, right. So you found it easier, have you?
Well, it's just a habit. Like like you said, it's a habit you develop. Well, the hardest part is getting out the door and getting to the gym. Once you get to the gym, you're alright, right? Because you made the effort to get there.
Yeah.
So that's the toughest part. The toughest part is getting up and just getting to the gym. That's the most what everyone struggles. They'll think they'll probably get changed, or they'll probably pack up their gym gear. By the time they get to the door, they go, oh no, I need to check my emails, or I need to check something on the computer, or my mate just asked me to play a game of League of Legends, or I don't know, something like that. And they get distracted and they go, oh, I'll just go to gym the next day. And what happens the next day? They don't go. Then they start developing a habit of not going to the gym. Every time they having the intent to go gym, but they don't. And that develops a bad habit. Because every time you pack your gym gear, you're like, I'll go the next day. I'll go another day. I'll go tomorrow. I'll go on the weekend. But when the weekend comes, what happens? You're distracted, or you sleep in it, you just don't do anything, you just don't go. So it's just taking that time out, even if it's half an hour, half an hour a day, just to do some press-ups, some sit-ups, go for a jog. If the jog doesn't have to be long, you could do like 10, 20-minute jog. Introduce jogging to your body. Start getting used to the fresh air outside, the the fresh air that's outside that's clean. You don't have to go during it's cold. I wouldn't suggest going cold because it's freezing outside. But if you do go jogging outside, please make sure you warm up like at least half an hour warm up before you go outside because it's really cold when you jog outside. I had that just up 2 days ago when I went jogging with my mate. Actually with Martin. You guys will know Martin. Martin too. He was like, "Yeah, let's go jogging about 3:30." I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to his." We got ready. As soon as we started jogging, we were jogging around the lake as well. It was just like, and the sun went down as well, so that made it worse. It was warm that afternoon, and the sun just went down, just disappeared, and we were just freezing. We were just like, "This is a bad idea." And we jogged for like half an hour before we actually warmed up. Then we just carried on. It's just like, oh, that was insane. But yeah, please make sure you do warm up if you go outside right now. But just start introducing habits, like you said. It's just small habits that you start developing. Introduce jogging to yourself. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It's a start, right? Yeah. 10 minutes, 20 minutes a week out of your day. It's not that much. It's not that much to ask for.
Jono, what was your payoff for that? Did you have a payoff for it? What did you like? To keep that habit going, did you have a payoff for that goal to run 20 minutes or something? Did you have a goal? Did you have an initiative? Sorry.
My goal last year, I could show you my goal. I want to do another race. Last year, if I'm not sure how many of you know about this, but I did the Spartan Race last year.
Oh yes. And
that was insanely fun, I would say. Crazy but fun. So I'd like to do another one this year. So that's one of the part of my goals for training is that I want to do more of these runs. I want to go to do more charity runs. Do these races for charity. So I'm doing it for something, right? It's not just for personal. It is for personal as well. It's personal achievement, it's personal accomplishment. So I feel like I'm progressing. My training's paying off. This is, to complete the challenges. It's already something that's hard. You have to develop the mentality, the discipline to keep going, and also I just want to make the race easier on my body by training harder. So then when it comes to that time, and for recovery after the race, it'll be easier on my body, so it doesn't stop me from training more or training further. Like you see athletes when they start training, they train all out, right? And then they get to the point where one of the athletes said to be a successful athlete, you have to be injury-free. Or like, for instance, look at Ryan Giggs, right? Ryan Giggs barely really have injuries and he's continuously playing games when he was playing, right? He was playing better than 18 to 20-year-olds. And he was like 30 or 40 years old, and he was taking on around defenders because he looks after himself and he's keeping his body fit. And by doing that, he stays injury free. He could push his body further. He could do things more than what the people that's 18, 20 years old that aren't looking after themselves. So it's just something that you should want to develop. For me, it's just a personal achievement. I wanna look better. I want to feel better. I want to have a body that I want because I feel like I slacked. And I feel like it just gives me more energy in a belief sense. So these are the things that kind of pays off in my mind.
Right.
Shall we go to
Yeah, go for it. Share your screen, bring up the presentation. We'll just quickly run through the steps. So everyone should have gone through the brainstorming bits.
They should.
Now we would, hopefully they have. We've given them enough times. By the way, guys, seriously, it's good to have you lot here for a catch up and to chat and to share goals. But also, it really is, every time we do a Hangout, it really is to provide value and to help is to help you guys. So one of the goals, one of the purpose for our hangout tonight is to get you guys to write down some serious goals, because same time next year we want to hear your goals and say, right, we've achieved these goals thanks to you guys. You know, that will really inspire us. So for those of you who have not written any goals, please feel this. We want you guys to do this exercise, and we're doing it with you because goals, it's hard to set. It's hard enough to write resolutions, right? It's even harder to write goals if you're not in the right state, if you're not isolated. And so you're in the right environment right now. You're with us, and we're just talking about goal setting all night, and that's all we're talking about. And so take this opportunity, use it as your own, and start writing some goals of yours down if you haven't already. For those of you who have, great. You might want to review it, and you might want to add some stuff onto it as well as we go along. Right, bring the slide up, Jono.
Right, do you see my screen? I don't know how well you see the screen.
Yep.
Right, so step number 4 is categorizing into different areas of your life. So this is the spiritual side, the physical side, the mental side, the social, the relationships, the finance, and the vocational. So categorize your goals into these sections. I'll leave this up so that you can keep these. You can write these down. Now there's a reason for categorizing it, so then you could follow up for these as well. When you come to managing it, it's easier.
And ideally, you would all want to have at least 1 or 2 goals. That's a must within each of these areas. So basically, you need to have a minimum of 7 goals, minimum. So if, for example, if physical is one of your worst, is one of your lowest priority, for example, me, at least have 1 goal. At least have 1 goal within it, like to aim to jog every morning, or do a regular set of exercise every day, or whatever it is, something small. If you find that your spiritual area of your life is lacking, meditation works. Listening to meditation music, or go for a massage every now and then. You know, set some small goals at least, but it has to be a must. You know, something that will push you to grow in that area. That's why it's so important to split it into different areas of your life and categorize what your goals are. And usually what you find, if you look at your sheet right now, if you look at all the goals you've written down so far, you can actually identify which areas of your life is your highest priority. Because on your goal list, the ones you have written down the most, and if they all belong to physical, for example, then you know physical is one of your highest, is probably the highest on your hierarchy, the highest value. So if you don't know what your hierarchy of value is, this is what we call the hierarchy of values. If you don't know what it is, just have a look at your goal, group them up together, and then count how many goals you have in each of those areas, and then that's how you identify. So if you have not been paying much attention to your finances, for example, you would tend to have only 1 or 2 goals in there. If you have, if you find that you're a very people person, kind of, you know, you're outgoing and you've got a lot of friends and you like to go out and link up and meet friends, then you might find that social area, the social area of your life, is the most important. Vice versa. That's how you identify what your priority is. I do recommend everyone do set at least 1 or 2 goals in each area of your life. So you have about 2 goals. But obviously concentrate on the ones that's the highest to you, because that's the most important area of your life at this current moment. So we'll give you some time to do that. While we're at it, so that we're not completely silent and, you know, your subconscious mind is listening to me, I'll share about a bit of what I've written So, for example, the health physical side of things, I'll share that. I actually wrote those down first because I lacked my physical side of things. I'm very lazy when it comes to exercise, so I made a list of goals what I want to achieve, and my first thing on the list is to have an awesome amount of energy. So I want to keep this this energy within me every day, and I want to be energetic. And in order to do that, this was obviously is to do power of power.
Good dear. Break it down.
1 hour. So it's giving yourself that time, that important time just for yourself, and that will include affirmations, incantations, meditations, and physical exercise. And that's basically our power. That will produce a few times, and you will. That day will just rock. You will just rock that day. Because the moment you start your hour of power, you start off fresh. You stay with clarity, and then as you go through the day, the whole day will just remain awesome, and you will have that amazing energy. So check that out. I think you can YouTube Tony Robbins' Hour of Power. I think that you can actually YouTube it. So if you guys want to check it out, that's awesome. My next area of life is the emotional well-being. So that's the spiritual side of things. Just generally, some goals we've written down are like to embrace challenges, to master our emotions, so total emotional mastery. So me and Jonathan have the same goal for this. We want to inspire and lead others. We're doing this by Hangouts, Facebook, whatever means. We just want to provide values, but we want to inspire people because we want to give to others what we received from our mentors. You know, I've been heavily inspired by Tony Robbins and all my other mentors, and I'm inspired by Jonathan, and I'm inspired by others who join us. So I want to everyone else. So that's one of my goals. So have at least one goal for your life. Financial side of things, I want to be financially independent this year, at least. Vocational side of things, well, I've got a lot of business points, a specific targets that I must achieve for each of those business areas. And also, what else? Contribution. That's usually social/relationship. So you know how you can communicate, how you can contribute to the world. Well, I've written down to create a community of limit breakers. That's us. We want to grow this Hangout, provide more value to you guys, bring everyone together. And regarding relationship, family, and the social side of things, I want to build a loving relationship with my girlfriend. I've recently just got into a relationship, a serious one, after 10 years of being single, and I believe so. I'm happy about that. And one of my goals really is to focus on this relationship and grow this as well. So as you can see, it's not just about business. It's not just about becoming financially free. This group is all. This group really is about breaking, achieving what you really want in life, within the 7 years. Move to the next step, Jono.
Next step. Yep.
Jono.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
You want to move like that?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I was just checking. I was like, I'm sure they're not listening to me. Right, number 5. Put them in the time frame. That's correct. Write a number of years next to each goal. Set a realistic time that you believe you can achieve them in. So normally within these, I would put between 1, 3, 5, 7, or 10 years. You know, maybe 20, depending how realistic you feel that is. You feel it's achievable, right? Why? So you just go through all your goals and put your 1s and your 2s and your 3s and your 5s. You know, whatever you feel relatively realistically achievable. This would lead to the next step. So please.
Yep. So what Jonathan said.
Sorry?
Just in case anyone didn't hear him, I think Jono, you're quite quiet.
Hello.
Just going to repeat it. Basically, so once you categorize all your goals into the 7 areas of your life, what you want to do is put a realistic time frame where you believe you will achieve. So it will be between 1 to 5 years, for example. So just put a number, 1 or 3 or 5 or 2. That will represent. I'll give you an example. For example, financial freedom. To achieve financial freedom for me, I put 3-year goal. But to become financially independent, that will be 1-year goal. So I want to be independent by this year. Know the difference. Financial independence is when you're able to create passive income that matches your expenditure. So if you find that say you tend to spend about £1,000 a month, then your minimum must have income. So you need will cover all expenditure within that month. That is financial independence. So then you know, even if you don't, you will survive. Basically, independent survival mode. Live the way you want to live. So that gives you the time and freedom to do whatever you want to. So yeah, just put down whatever you believe you can achieve it within. Once you've done that, we will move on to step 6.
Okay. I feel like I'm lagging a bit or something. So I'm just making sure I'm still around. Right. Step 6 is focus on year 1 goals. So whatever you've wrote down a 1 that you're going to achieve in the first year are the most important. So this is the ones that you're going to achieve by this year. So you should have at least 1 for each area of your life. You should set a realistic amount of goals that you think you can handle. So if you've got 1 that's got about 20 goals, maybe just put down 5 instead of 20.
Like me.
Well, at one point I had about like 10 in one area, and I had to kind of skim down a little bit because it was just getting too much. So I don't want someone else to make the same mistake.
Bit like Mount Everest.
Well, if you want to look at my list of goals, I can send it to you.
Yeah, have to. That's good.
So this just helps you, you know, rule out the most important ones that you want to achieve this year. So what do you want to achieve by end of 2015? These are the ones that's gonna, you know, push you through it.
So the reason why this step is important is because you might find that you have over 10 goals on your list, and realistically, you want to focus on the ones that you want to achieve within the year one, because you don't want to do the ones that take you longest, whereas you're not doing the ones that will take you the shortest amount of time. So you know where your focus. Important thing of focusing on year one goals are because the moment you achieve these goals, you get that motivation. You naturally get that motivation, and you know you've tasted what success is. You know you can do it. So then that gives you the drive to carry on doing the other goals. So that's really, really important. So focus on your year one goals first this year. Right. Awesome. We all got that. Step 7.
Alright, this is the most important part because this is where you will apply the SMART technique. Now, if people remember what SMART is, yes, we did write it down here. It's specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and the timeline. All your goals should apply this technique.
So you wanna show us? You wanna guide us through how we do this, Jono?
Yes,
With more specific details. So what does specific mean?
Right. If you want to be specific, then you want to make sure that it's just really something specific that you want to achieve, right? So you want to word your goals in this way. This goes to the next goal. This goes to the next step.
Right. So specific means writing down specific goals. You mean, right? So not just general. Like I want more money. So
yeah.
that's very general. If one of your goals is to say I want more money, that's not specific enough. That's just being general. So an example of being specific is I want to achieve 50,000 pound, 50 grand. I want to accumulate 50 grand within year one. That would be very specific. Or you want to say I want to create passive income of at least £500 coming in per month. That's very specific. So whatever your goals are right now, review them, look at them, and rewrite them to make it more specific. What do you want to add on to it? So, so what Richard wrote, in terms of playing much stronger players, learning from my mistake from them, getting advice from them, playing in many more tournaments. So be specific on your goals. Measurable. What does measurable mean, Jono?
So measurable is just putting a timeline by when you feel like you could achieve it by. So, for instance, I will easily reach and inspire people by 31st of December 2015. That's how measurable I feel for that goal. Obviously, you could set it in between maybe by August, 31st of August, or by usually most people set some goals before they hit their birthday for the year. If your birthday's already passed, then set another time. So it's something you feel like realistically you could achieve by. Now, a lot of my goals is usually by end of the year I've set that I realized, which probably isn't really helpful. Right, so I wrote down I will easily become NLP certified by November 31st, 2015. So by the end of November, I want to be NLP certified.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how measurable you want to make sure your goals are. Set a date, end of it.
Yeah. So measurable really means that you can measure your progress. So you can tell within a certain amount of time how much you have progressed and how much you have achieved towards that particular goal. I'm gonna quote a very important quote from who's read Rich Dad Poor Dad? Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Right, Rich Dad, his rich dad, Keith Cunningham. he's also one of the coaches for Tony Robbins and Business Mastery in terms of the finance side of things. He says those who does not want to measure does not want to be held accountable. And the reason why that is important is because if you don't want to measure, it means you don't want to be accountable for that. So if you don't want to be accountable for your own life, who else will? So it starts with measuring yourself. Attainable, Jono. You want to explain that to us?
So attainable. This is something that I still struggle with to explain, right, by the way. It's something that it's something that you can afford.
Something you can touch.
Sorry, was you carrying on? Or am I breaking up?
I'm just saying something you believe you can achieve, right?
Something you believe you can afford, and you can achieve, and you're available to live in.
So if your goal is to live on the moon, that might not be attainable. If you want to fly up to space for about 1.5 hours, that's pretty much attainable as long as Virgin Galactic is successful with their project, then you'll be able to do that. So yeah, write down something attainable. Attainable and realistic, pretty much the same thing. And the most important thing, of course, finally, is timeline, right? So timeline is setting the time that we will achieve it. Jono, that's what it was, right?
Yep,
that was step 6.
That is pretty much where I link up to by when do you want to achieve it. Again, it's it's pretty much simple. You're measurable, but you should want to set a timeline so you know that you're going to achieve it by.
Okay, let's move on to the next step then.
Okay. And so you want to rephrase your goals, where you will rewrite your goals in either one of the following. In present, so I will, or in future, which is I am grateful that I already have. So presuppose that it already has happened.
Right, so what this means is I still need to do step 8, by the way. So I've written all my goals down, but they're really specific, and they're more like notes. So step 8 is basically getting out your diary, your journal, or a clean sheet of paper. This is what you will pin to your wall, by the way. You want to rewrite all your goals that you've got into a short paragraph. So either telling yourself that I will achieve this, or I will do this. That is very powerful, as it is an affirmation, is an incantation to yourself, and every morning you can read it and say, I.
You can make it more compelling by also adding I will easily or I will happily. That makes the goal more compelling. So that really helps with the way you write your goals. So for me, I'll give you an example right now, which is I will easily master all areas of my emotions and behavior by 31st of December 2015. I will easily create a 200-member Limit Breakers community to inspire others by 31st of August 2015. So that's 2 days after my birthday. I'll achieve a 200-member Limit Breakers community for you, and for you to inspire each other. So that's my goal. Or that's my timeline. That's how specific and you're smart, measurable. How you would use a SMART acronym. Yeah, I will easily create a sustainable online passive income business by publishing Kindle books by 31st December 2015. That's one of my goals. So it's something that just like makes it easier for you to reach your goal, and it just makes it more compelling when you're reading it. So you want to make sure that these are realistic, attainable, you have the belief and confidence that you can achieve it by then. If there's any unrealistic goals, they should be your long-term ones, as they are part of your vision. It's hard, right?
Can you hear me?
I can't see if what's everyone typing and stuff, so I just see my screen of slide. So
I can't see anything. Okay, I can't see what everyone's typing now. I don't know what happened.
right, let me come back out and see what you guys are chatting.
Jennings, see the people typing still, yeah?
Yeah, I can. But I'm the last person to type, so just basically discussing. Gavin's gone now. I think Gavin's gone. He's
Gavin's gone to work.
Yes, he's gone to work. Okay.
I was just making sure that there isn't typing. I couldn't see anyone typing.
No one's typing. Oh, Richard's. Richard's last one.
Sorry, Richard. There's plenty. There's more. I'm sure you'll find the right ones eventually. I'm sure you have no rush for that. So
I'll talk to him.
Okay. I hope you're getting through your step 8. So I'll move on to step 9. I'll also upload this this slide onto the group, so then you can download it and use it in your own time if you need. So step 9 is about managing your goals, okay? So make sure you create a system to manage your goals. Write it out and pin it to a wall so that you can see it every day. So then you can review your goals on a weekly or monthly basis. Now this just enforces the goals in your mind to keep you going. Some people like the right to write their goals daily, okay, but that's just up to them whether they want to do that or not. But when you have your set of goals that you want to focus, you're forced to focus to these, so it will help you achieve your goals easier. So you're going to make sure you continually measure yourself, how far your progression with your goals are, and make sure your course of action is to reach your ensure that you reach your destination, right? So I want to go through quickly while you guys do that. So this is not too hard, managing your goals, but I want to just give you guys never lose hope when you're going through your goals or whatever you want to set to achieve. Just don't lose that hope. Because it is just a hope that keeps anyone going really in life. So it's something that gives you that energy, right? that there's hope to be energized. You don't have to be miserable when you're traveling to work. Sometimes you may do, but you know that's how you set off your day is how you end your day, right? So if you start your day being miserable, you probably end your day being miserable. But if you start your day being awesome, you'll have an ending awesome day, right? You just come home and go, how's your work? It's like awesome. I had an awesome day. And they're like, well, what did you do? It's like not much, but it's been awesome, right? It's just having that mentality in you. I'm sure Ick will probably tell you that. Like not much probably happened during work, but he's still having an awesome day because he's set off to have an awesome day at the start of his day, and that's how you end your day. So just keep that going, that mentality in your emotion, in your thoughts. That's how you generate happiness, and that's where you're more entitled to achieve your goals, to reach your goals, to get focused, to recharge yourself for the next day, for the next goal. Right, I'll go into step 10 because this one's not that hard. So, create a vision board. Now, this could be pictures, notes, reminders of everything you want in life.
Vision board.
Now, if you guys haven't seen vision boards, I'll show you in a minute how my one looks like right now. Obviously, you could do a better version. Right, let's get myself back on screen. Right, am I back here?
No, you're still screen sharing.
Well,
There you are.
Yes, I'm back. Right, it should look something like this, your vision board. What? Can you see?
You can do. You guys can do a better one than Jono.
Very funny. Right, these is my vision board. I've got my mentors on here at the top. So you got Brendan Bouchard, Tony Robbins, Frank Kern, Roger Hamilton, Guy Kawasaki. Ooh. And then you got the people, quotes, some houses, some penthouse, the body that I want to physically have, family, health, relationship, traveling around the world, and networking. So that's my goals, personally. So it's up to you what you want to have on yours, obviously. And you can make it more prettier than that, as it said. So.
Cool.
Yep, and this all leads to it all leads to your final vision board. That is really important. Put an image board on your wall, and it's really like what they shown on The Secret, really, because they talk about having a vision board as well. But really, a vision board is not to it's nothing magical. It's just really there as a reminder, so that every time you look at your vision board, you're reminded of your goals. You're reminded of your whys, your whys and your musts. So that you remind yourself every day, so that you push forward and do what needs to be done on that particular day, and then. So, it's taking those baby steps, taking those one step at a time and reminding yourself and having that drive to go for what you want in life. That's why an vision board is so important. Mine's at a back, you won't be able to see what it is, but it's basically got a bit of, it's got Tony Robbins' quote, it's got a Porsche, it's got China, and it's got a scenery that where I want to grand piano. It's got my picture of my sister there. She's someone So yeah, your vision board could be absolutely anything. And business mastery course, on his notes are on there as well. So it could be anything at all. Oh, actually, I don't think you guys can see because you guys are on Jonathan's screen, right? So yeah, sorry, it's behind there. Sorry. So that's my vision board. You can see that's the Porsche. That's the place I want to visit. That's behind there is somewhere in China called Mount Huang. That's a picture of my sister. Picture of me and a group of friends. Notes I've got. These are the business mastery notes that I've to help me do what I do every day. That's a grand piano. So it could be anything. Your vision board can be absolutely anything. Just make sure it's big enough. Jono, great presentation. Was that the end of it?
That's pretty much it, really. So just don't lose perspective of your goals. What I mean is just keep a plan of actions as you have, but make sure you also write out your plans of actions to get that goal, right? So you want to make sure you want to meet people, you want to meet better people. That helps you along the way. Like for creating communities and stuff, I'm sure we're not the only ones creating communities. We could probably network outside of community to build our networks. So we could reach out and to reach out to new people or reach out to you guys. Share the Hangouts if you found it useful, and who do you feel around your friend circle that you want to benefit or feel it will be beneficial to them coming to these Hangouts for an hour of the evening or an hour and a half. We're just gone past now. Just noticed. Time flies by. I swear, on our Hangouts, we've got so much to share, and unbelievable. So, meet that people to support your growth, to get to your goals. Write out reasons to be grateful. This is gratitude. This helps you along the way because this reinfuses yourselves to remind that, we've achieving things. We want to achieve this, and what goals do we get? What satisfaction we receive afterwards? You're grateful for yourself. Who else would be grateful for you? I'm sure we're all grateful for each other's goals, whatever we set out to do or achieve. So whenever you see someone else on here in the group that writes a goal or achieves something, like their status, congratulate them. That's just a boosts anyone's self-belief that they can do it, and it is a matter of mentality and emotions that trigger that, and it helps each other, supporting each other. That's why we created this community, so you can support each other, you can help each other. If there's anything you want to talk about privately, you could message me and Ick personally. We don't mind helping out. We will help out, or help as much as we can. If we don't have the answer, I'm sure we can find the answer. We have access to our mentors, that we're still learning from. So if you feel like you've got a problem or something that you need someone to speak to, we're always here for you. I'm sure every member's here for each other as well, so that's why it's here. Now, you want to make something, you want to give up, create now steps, so you want to create new steps, sorry. If you fail one step, don't just stop there. Just create a new one. It's like when you're crossing over a bridge, right, and one of the steps just break. You're stepping those wooden bridges. One of the steps break. Okay, what do? Do you turn back, or do you just cross over to the next one and just keep carrying on? Sometimes it's probably safer to go back, but what if you really need to go across to the other side of that bridge? You just hop over that step, go to the next one, and carry on, right? So you want to make sure you want to create new steps every time you fail. It is easy, it is natural for people to make mistakes and have failures. It's not nice having failures, but it's part of life, and you just need to enjoy that process. So that once you can, it's when you're programming. Programmers always have bugs, right? But what do? They just keep attacking that code for hours and hours and hours, asking other programmers, seeking help, and eventually they take out the bug by having someone else that's been there before, that's done it. They know how to fix the problem. Then that's not a problem, right? So you just want to make sure you create new steps when you're failing. It is part of life. It's part of the learning journey. If you're not failing, then you're not really learning, to be honest. Like, if I'm lifting weights, if I'm lifting heavy weights, if I'm lifting 40s on bench, or fail 40s, fine. You know, I'll do 38s. 38s can't do, I'll do 36. I'll reach my goal by doing my full set. Okay, I can't do a full set of, 40 kilograms, a set of 10 by 40 kilograms. Fine, I'll do 36, 34, a set of 10s for that. But I will continue progress and reach my goal. Maybe I'm having a bad day, maybe I'm not feeling great, maybe my body is fatigued, but I will still complete my set, right? Don't cheat the system, just carry on doing what you want to do, because eventually you will achieve your goals and you'll satisfy yourself with your achievement. Your dreams are there. So it's up to you whether you want to grab it or you want to reach it. But they don't care how much failures you get, how many failures you have to get there. But your dreams know that deep inside that it's worth it. At the end of it, it's worth it. All the pain, all the late nights, whatever it takes for you to achieve that goal. Your dreams inside inside your own belief, will know that it's worth it at the end of the day. When you make it to where you want to, that's when you feel a sense of pride and enjoyment, and that's where you want to be once you get there. So make sure you just don't give up. Just keep grinding. It is part of the process of the grind. And if you don't have what it takes to keep the grind going, find another person who does. So there's always someone out there who's achieved what you wanted in life. Seriously. There are so many other people that's achieved what we wanted to achieve. But look at them as role models. It's important to have role models. That's why that's why me and Ick have mentors, because our mentors is living what we want to live right now. That's why they are mentors. That's why we learn from them, because they are living currently exactly what we want to do, what we want in life. So have role models, look up, learn from them. Like for me, like Greg Pitt was one of the leading inspirations for my fitness. To have a great body, to be in great shape, to have great strength, to have great mentality, to have that motivation to keep going and don't give up. That's something that will be missed. But he's left a legacy of videos, for me to just watch and just carry on, believing in myself and reinforcing my state. So there's so many mentors that I'm sure has lived the life you have. Just search them up. The internet's if you haven't heard of them, maybe look into them and see what they do. Because I'm sure you'll find on the internet many mentors out there who's lived what you're seeking, what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Great. Right, we've just hit 10 o'clock. Thanks for that, Jono. Jenning, is there anything you want to share with us?
So, yeah, just saying thank you very much for today's talk, and it's been an opportunity for inviting me to come and talk. It's this is the time to make anything happen. It's now really. We're all in the same boat. I think we all want to progress, so let's help each other out and make it the best year. That's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jenny. It's been a pleasure to have you on here as well. And
Thank you.
for those of you who are listening right now, we'd love to introduce you one by one as well, or even two by two, maybe on our next Hangout, just so that we can introduce one another and we get to see your face and we know what you look like, and we get to hear your voice. It's more real rather than just have you behind a chat room. We want to introduce you all one by one, eventually, so that we all know one another. So if any one of you who are nothing know, or let me know, and then we will arrange to have you co-host for our next webinar. Jono and Jenny, could you just quickly read through the chat and just see if there's any questions that we've missed out, because I've lost the chat box. I've completely lost it. I lost. Sorry, guys. I lost connection just now. When I reconnected, the chat box just disappeared, so I can only see what's on camera right now.
Right.
So just in case I'm missing out anything.
No. All I've mentioned is the group, the lifestyle group, Lifebreaker group on Facebook. Limit Break Lifestyle Academy group on Facebook. If people want to pose questions, perhaps they could go onto the Facebook group, but it's a secret group, so you have to ask Itch or Jono if you want to be invited to the Limit Break Lifestyle Academy group.
Jono will automatically invite those who are in this hangout anyway.
Okay.
If you're not already on.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants or family into into our hangout, feel free. Please invite them. The Facebook group really is still it's a secret group because we don't want to have any negative people in there. We don't really want anyone just browsing around and just posting random comments. This really is a group for us to help one another. We're serious about it. We don't want just anyone in here. Usually it's people who's joined us in the hangout before, and then we will tend to invite them. But if you feel that someone can benefit from us, and someone is serious, and someone is walking on the same path as you and as us, and you feel that they would fit right well, just PM us, and we'll send them an invite. And apart from that, I do encourage all of you to join us on the next hangout. Actually, not sure what we're going to do yet, but I think the next one we would like to. I think we can have up to 9 co-hosts or something like that. I mean, there's just about 8 of us here tonight, so it would probably be great if there's 8 or 9 of us all as co-hosts, so that we can all speak to one another rather than just being behind screen. I totally encourage you all to join us next time. Then, apart from that, no, Jono, I'll let you finish.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you all for coming and turning up again. Really, thankful that you have taken your time out to be on here. It's really encouraging for me and Ick and Jenning, and for you guys as well to take your time out and be serious about your life, because this is the time. If you don't use your time wisely, or how else would you use it, right? So I'm really thankful that you guys turned up. Thank you for giving up your time to be here. And as Ick said, we will see you on the next hangout, which will be next month. We haven't decided when, but again, keep your emails open and your Facebook. You'll see us, multiply advertising at the hangout, so I'm sure you won't miss it.
Okay.
So thank you all, and I will see you guys in the group. I'll be posting around there. I'll also post the slide in there, so that you guys can reference them. Carry on doing your goals if you haven't done already, and make sure you do your vision board as well. So that's from me and Ick. So good night, everyone. Thank you again.
Nice. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night, guys. I want to see your vision board next time, all right? I want to see a screenshot of your vision board on the Facebook. Okay, Definitely. Good night, all.
Bye-bye.
No.
Bye-bye.